so fashionable. My hair is refusing to behave today, so it's time for a nice silk, like I'm pretty sure that's satin. All hail satin, the superior fabric. To put on my head because, yeah, my hair decided to take the shape of a cube for some reason, and then no amount of water and combing would fix it, so you know what, no, frick it. So yeah, I have more than one headband. So for those of you who are new here, I'm Shiro. Usually what I do on these live streams, I talk a little bit about the art stuff that I did in the past week and yesterday, and then I go on to draw my weekly webcomic Bootleg Cookie. So, roughly, what did I do this week? A lot of work. Did a lot of graphics and template for the questionnaire. Like I sound really tired, is because I am. But I have to specify that I'm not tired because of Jay, because Jay is actually like doing great. It's just that he needs a lot of graphics, so I have a lot of graphics to do. But like I said, as long as the templates are done, the graphic part, easy. We should be good with the templates now. It's just he keeps finding out that, oh, I should have a template for this and I should have a template for that. I think we're good with templates now. Knock on wood. But like I said, he's not a terrible client, so I'm not complaining there. I'm just tired because I'm old. If I hear anyone say, you're just 41, you're not old. I'm old in internet years, okay? Okay. Allow me the privilege to age. Also, I have finally started work on the Barbarian Queen Charybdis sketch cards. I only have 5 to do. But you know, ADHD, and my mom busted her knee at the beginning of the week. She's fine. She's fine. She can drive and everything. It's just that she needed to rest her leg in general. She didn't break anything, but she smushed a lot of muscle tissue. So it was very, very ugly. We already have 3 people watching. Hello, 3 people. Like, it's gotten so bad we're in the middle of summer and I have a hot cup of tea. Now. Oh! Wow, thank you, Annan! So now I know who one of the Annans is. Already 22% funded on a comic book that I want. Yeah, sometimes I will put shit in there that I just want and I do not need. Speaking of shit in there, you guys probably noticed the void is still there. I am mentioning it because I did get the door curtains. That's the good news. They're fine. The door curtains are fine. They're nice. They're solid. They're very pretty. They fit in the door frame and everything. The reason they're not there yet is into the void. Is because I don't have a tension curtain rod for them. Here's the thing. I did not order one anticipating the curtains because just in case Mom had one hanging around in the house. She always has a spare of everything. So just to do it on purpose, the one time she thought she had a spare of something, turns out she probably gave it to Roxanne when she moved out. So sometimes this week I will go into town and get myself a tension curtain rod. So we're going to have the void in the corner for a couple more days. By next week, if all goes well, and if I'm not too tired / lazy, this week to go and, oh, we're already at 4 people already. Oh my god, hi 4 people! Must be a slow convention day. Oh, I'm happy now. We're already at 22% for the comic. But yeah, Mamie n'a plus toute sa tête has a very interesting premise to me, and I do feel like it's an allegory for taking care of the elderly when dementia. It's Christmas time again. Krampus. Oh, it does sound like Christmas, does it? I'll have to take your words for it because that's a new song and I don't hear it anymore, so you guys can have some even music. So, art-wise, I said earlier, I am going to give you guys a sneak peek at the card that I do have done. We have Daverick over here that is out of focus. 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 There we go. Now, this has got to be one of my best cards so far. And fun fact, this was done with a G-Pen nib. All that hair that you guys just saw. Let's try to open this without it exploding it on my lap. Was done with one of these. And considering I have like wiggly hands and I'm left-handed, this is a freaking miracle, honestly. I mean, at that amount of detail, normally I would use like a Maru, but I felt confident enough with my G-Pen that I went ahead and inked the entire thing with G-Pen, and it went like wonderfully. It was nice, it was smooth, it was as even as my little jerky hands can go, because I'll be honest, when I draw sometimes I can feel my hand like and I gotta work with what I have. So you probably noticed the spatters. That's a great sketch card. Thank you, Paul. I used my paint airbrush. This cost me $200. Now let's be honest. It was an entire art sculpting kit that cost me $200. But the reason I bought the kit was specifically for this thing. I mean, look at the tank and tell me that's not Shiro coated right there. Of course, it would have been better if it was oil slick and then the pattern would move with the light. But anyway, and then it has the blue bud, it has the pink tank. What is there not to love? Once again, let's point out that their spatter, I used a spatter tool that I got on AliExpress. It was a set of 3. This is the medium one, I believe. Medium, yeah. Notice the white. These actually glow in the dark. We are not going to show that off today because it's way too bright in here, even if I turn off the lights. So it hooks under the airbrush like this. And it doesn't look like it would hook solid, but it does hook solid. Put in a little bit of jacquard paint in the airbrush, and then it picks up a lot of the paint, and then it just like splat. Now the fun part about this, first of all, for those who remember my character Taco the Imp, this is the color of his skin. This is what I mean when I say he's white with some green undertones. This is the color of the white of his skin. Doesn't necessarily mean that Taco glows in the dark, but it does mean that this is the shade his skin is supposed to be when you look at him in real life. Now, if you rip out one of his tooth... So yeah, I knew I was going to stain this tool because like it feels slightly porous, as if it was 3D printed. So I knew I was going to stain it with the paint, and I expected that. I did not expect, however, that it would gain the color and texture of a pulled tooth. This looks like the root of a tooth. And considering the color it is, it was about time to take it out, eh? So yeah, we're talking about that because that's going to be part of the theme for today's bootleg cookie. I literally wrote it this morning because the thing happened to me yesterday. Because I'm a genius. superior fabric, but the thing with satin is that it's slidey. So we're going to move some stuff up here. I was looking at the Sophie and Toffee website, looking at some model. Oh, does that mean my Uncle Marcel is here? I was looking at some model making supplies. Yeah, because I've had the itch for sculpting again, and there's one thing that I would like to do, but I do not have the material. In order to have the material, I would need to make a mold and then use resin. I can close that. I don't need that. That's done. That's just me looking around on the Blick website. Guess that's the fun thing about me. I have a one-track mind. And that mind invariably always goes towards art supply. Behind the scenes, for those of you that are not on my Patreon, I'm past the middle point for the current Super Mario Adventures continued episode. And I'll be honest, sometimes it's a struggle. It's not because I don't enjoy it, I enjoy it very much, but once again, ADHD. Got this whole executive dysfunction thing going on sometimes, and it's so hard to start. There. It's fun to stay at the ADHD. It's fun to stay at the ADHD. You cannot start shit. You just sit there and wait. It could go on for hours on. It's fun to stay at the ADHD. Oh, I haven't had tea in a long while. If it wasn't hot, I'd be like gulping this stuff down right now. Anybody a fan of free cheapo games on the Switch? They recently released the new Dempaman. I enjoy it. I enjoy it in the same way I enjoy Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Any of you familiar with that game will understand what I mean. Like, it's really dumb, but it's good dumb, you know? Like, you know how I'm always complaining, like, when I'm playing a AAA game and I spot a typo? Or, like, with the Thousand Year Door, I spot several typos in French. And I'm just like, you got the frickin' budget. The Dempaman has typos at every 2 words. But the Dempaman, I forgive them. Because it looks like it's on purpose. As in, when I booted the game, like, it's free to download and they expect you to pay for microtransactions, but that's not happening. And they offer you 2 choices of languages, and the first one is Japanese. The second one is English. So, and then you read the English that they offer you, and you're like, oh, okay, I see where I stand. You know what? I'll give it a pass. I understand what I'm reading. Good enough. Well, while I'm here, I'm gonna move the airbrush here so I can have a model. Now, I can't reach the other Barbarian Queen Charybdis cards right now, but I've been using Francisco, who is on my printer right now because I have no other place to put him because his base is so large. But two of the cards feature Charybdis herself, and I've been using Francisco to pose her hand when it shows up. And already he's helped so much, just being able to see that hand. Because there's only so much this I can do that it doesn't really register. Because no matter how I pose, then I have to put my hand down and draw a little bit and then do the pose again, but it's not the same and it's not the exact same angle. With Francisco, he keeps the pose. Francisco is great. Francisco was worth the $35. And I'm not really super good with the airbrush. Like, I literally can't draw with the airbrush. I'm not even trying. What I do with the airbrush is mostly try and cover large areas with color, and that's about it. Of course, we're going to draw the trigger, because it's not going to work if it doesn't have a trigger now, is it? Like, I have a completely pink one, but like this one is so nice and smooth and works so well. If you guys remember, the ass is blue, but you know, chroma screen. I wonder what the tank looks like. Oh, wow. Of course, it's taken out all the green, but it's still pretty. It kind of matches with my water tumbler. See, ADHD, I can't focus work shit. But I still somehow managed to stay in my schedule because I am more stubborn than I am ADHD. Wait, but that's not how you're supposed to clean a, an airbrush. And to you I say, pay for the official airbrush cleaner material. We'll see soon enough that I am not smart. So while I cover myself with ridiculousness, how was your week, guys? Did you have a good week? What did you do? Now, for those wondering why I'm blowing into the tank my hairbrush, so after filling it with water, usually what I tend to do with this airbrush is I plug the tank back in and then I use it up to empty to flush out the rest of the paint that's stuck inside the airbrush. But I didn't feel like doing that because the tank was in the studio and I was in the bathroom. I'm like, I have a lot of paint and markers in the system, okay? I'm going to leave a very colorful corpse. So I didn't think things true. Then again, that's how much of my art gets created. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna do it. See, we're gonna see. For those wondering, this is a scrub bug and I use it to clean my hands. After I work, because it works really, really well. Like, it's a toy bug designed to help kids wash their hands. Like, it makes them more interested because, well, it's a toy, it's a gadget, so then you scrub your hands real good. But I found that it's really, really good at getting art supplies off my hands. And yes, I am using a pencil holder for my toothbrush and stuff like that. I had this thing since I was born, I believe, because I have heard that it used to belong to Mom beforehand. And I take good care of my stuff. Stuff lasts a long time. And I'm not even kidding. I did say that out loud. Because that is what it looked like. I should know my zits. I don't have like those big, painful, tree-colored ones anymore. I got small zits. Even if I have a lot of them, they're still small. But I used to have some monsters, so I know what it's like. I remember one that was on my chin. And like, as I was sleeping, it like suddenly grew enormous and infected, like in the dermis, you know? Like from the outside, it looked like nothing, but on the inside, it was big. It was infected, it was there, and how did I find out it was there? Because my blanket lightly brushed against my chin and I woke up crying with how much it hurt. And you know when they say with zits, don't touch them, put stuff on them to make them dry out, don't use tools to pop them. Like, I had no choice, you know? Everything they said not to do to that zit, I did to that zit. Or else, I'm pretty sure I would have woken up my parents. That's how bad it hurt. The relief I felt when it finally decided to leave my body. Like, it hurt so bad I needed a young priest and a old priest. A semi-realistic rendition of an airbrush. Not a lot of art drama this week. There's a kid. A literal kid. That's trying to start trouble with Idle Mantis. Because Idle Mantis draws not safe for work. And the kid is 17. He has no business being there anyway. Well, it's one of those kids that see accounts that say not safe for work, 18 plus, minors do not interact. And they take it personally and interact. And just pump themselves mad by themselves, like Lily does. And if I compare your tantrum to my dog's tantrum, you are the drama. You are the issue. Oh, Mom's ordering supper. I made sushi yesterday. My sushi is non-traditional, but Mom loves it, so it's good enough for me. I'm kind of hoping someone misreads that this is supposed to be an airbrush and reports me to either Webtoon or Tapas for representation of drug usage. Like, I'm so used to people interpreting what I say or what I draw that I do the scenarios all in my head by now. Like the opening of the Olympic Games, idiots thought that the Bacchanals were a drag queen parody of The Last Supper. Okay? And that the Marie Antoinette part was satanic. And people were like, how is it satanic? Is it because it's metal? And I was like, okay, let's try. Like, I'm Catholic, so let's try to stretch it as far as I can to make it believable. And that it's an attack on Christianity, which it was not. Like, from what I know of the Bible, maybe some of them thought that the Marie Antoinette part was St. John's the Baptist in drag, and then added some metal music on it to really drive the point. Because St. John's the Baptist got decapitated in the Bible. Spoilers. Like, I thought decapitation, first thing that came to mind was St. John the Baptist. I have to specify the Baptist because there's like 3 Johns that I know of. So, like, that's as far as of a stretch as I can imagine that Marie Antoinette could be an attack on Christianity. Like, literally, the show is her holding her own head, singing metal music. And of course, the Christians in the United States thought, how can I make this about me and be offending to myself? And if any Americans are watching, and you know what kind of Americans I mean, I'm Canadian. So I can go right ahead and say, not my president, and you know who I'm talking about. All I have to say to you guys, open a book once in a while. Educate yourselves. Sometimes it's not about you. I know it's hard. And here in the chat we have a normal person commenting. I love drag shows. I thought it was brilliant. Yeah, that Last Supper thing, I was like, I don't get it. And then I actually saw pictures of up close of the Last Supper show, and I was like, that's not Christian. That is literally Bacchus in the middle. Like, that's a bacchanal. What the fuck? But you know, Americans. The difference between an American and an American. Honestly, I did not expect this much watered down red paint to come out because I had been cleaning that thing and rinsing and cleaning and rinsing and using Q-tips. Like, I could not see any paint anywhere, but I did not trust that airbrush. It's clean now. I also saw a photo of a couple that said we walked out after 25 minutes of Deadpool 3. And it's blasphemous, and I'm like, it's Deadpool! You guys walked out of the first 2 Deadpools because the baby that you brought at the midnight showing was crying, right? And then complained that it was not for kids. It's based on a comic book. Every comic book is for kids. Mouse. Like, literally, the comic that I have in my donation pool is about a grandma killing people. It's on the cover. You know, for kids. I am burping up leftover sushi. Yes, be jealous for my sushi. It's delicious. Taking some artistic liberties because I know damn well my sink is filthy right now. Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. Talk to you later. TTT for kids. And then, when there's some mature media made specifically for kids, oh, you gotta tone it down. You gotta tone it down. You gotta tone it down. My toddler was afraid. Well, then don't let your toddler read it. Don't ruin it for the other kids that like kids' horror. Fun fact, for those who don't know, I started reading Goosebumps in high school. I was not allowed to read Goosebumps in elementary school. Then again, I was not allowed to read Little House on the Prairie in elementary school, despite having the books at home and reading them there. I'm still not gonna say that the other kids were stupid. I am going to say, however, that this is why it's important to have individualized education. because being forced to slow down for every single kid is detrimental. Because then you run the risk of thinking you're better than the other kids. No. After finding out that I was supposedly smart, the school did absolutely nothing. Like they did nothing about adaptive learning, like literally nothing, and then proceeded to treat me like I was an idiot. I mean, it was the 80s. You know, idiot is not the word they used. Then again, I'm not really helping myself while drawing a comic where I show that I'm an idiot. But you know what kind of idiot I'm talking about. I should have taken a picture, but I didn't want the paint to stain my sink. So I cleaned it up as soon as I saw the mess. But ridicule doesn't kill. I mean, I'm the best example. I'm still alive at 41. And boy, did some ridiculous shit in my life, and I don't plan on slowing down. Si on vaut pas une risette, on vaut pas grand chose. Smooth. Fun fact, my screen protector is supposed to be paper-like, but it is not paper-like. It is glass-like smooth. The original screen itself is paper-like, but it is ruined because it is a cheap enduit, because I can't remember the name in English right now. And I scratch it all off, working normally for a year on it. That's why I have a screen protector now. Do I miss the paper-like? Not really, honestly. Seeing as my previous Wacom was also glass-like, and I worked on that one for years. So I'm used to the slipperiness. Slick, slick, slick. I'm thinking my screen protector is busted again. Like, I'm feeling, when I'm drawing, I'm feeling like as if some chips were scraped off, like with my previous screen protector. But I don't see them and I don't feel them with my hand. So I don't know what's going on there. Also, Gabe has been announcing that he is looking for a voice actor to do a Lou Albano voice for Enzo. Mario's dad in The Fun and Dysfunctional. And he had received some samples, and half of them I was just given a tablet. Don't know if it works yet. Ooh, you're gonna have to give me the deets on that. Give me the stats. Give me numbers, baby. And he said half of them I do believe, because I don't delete my chats. There we go. Boppity boopy Italians. First 3 editions for Enzo, and 2 of them are Boppity boopy Italians. Guys, read the roll. I mean, I'm not better. Because somebody had questioned the way Mario says papa in the comic. It's Huey on. Oh, they have a good reputation. And basically what I said is, so an Italian asked why Mario called his dad food, because the literal meaning of papa with 2 P's is baby food. I checked. Sir, you know damn well Mario is from 2 nationalities and at all times, and that's just a stretch out papa. You just wanna, well, actually. We're gonna argue the Italian of a guy that goes, "Madame Gageli," when he speaks in Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. When Gabe said the first 2 are like Boppity Boopy, and I was like, we don't want anybody going full Chef Boyardee. Somebody used that in an article talking about Chris Pratt's Mario voice, that he was not allowed to go full Chef Boyardee, and I am going to use that line for the rest of my life. It is now a core memory that Mario sounds full Chef Boyardee. That is the funniest shit I ever heard. And yeah, Mario and Luigi's quote-unquote default lines are the only lines that I remember, because their lines change per Mario and Luigi game. And I did not play the other ones as often as I played Superstar Saga. That and Superstar Saga is the only one in the virtual console thingy that they have on the Switch. I mean, if I want to play the other ones, all I gotta do is charge up my Game Boy Advance or my DS. I've just found that in my old age, I prefer gaming on a big TV than a small screen. But I still can. It's not that I can't see, it's just that I like a big screen. Oh, hi Anime Geek. It's been a while. Hello, hello. Just in time as I was making fun of Mario and Luigi's voice line in Superstar Saga. Madame the Geli! And forget to go to read the Bible. Nothing but fun people showing up today. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm good on templates for J, so I'm going to attempt. Big attempt. Doing some of that filming that I've been talking about, so I can finally send the stuff that I've been promising people. Because having it sitting in my office will do nothing. And I want that stuff to be used for the greater good. The needs of the many and all that. I added a couple of video games in my Amazon wish list. They're all in pre-order. I didn't pre-order them. That's why they're in the wish list. But they are currently in pre-order. The next Mario and Luigi Brothership. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. People are already complaining about the menu of having too many items. Well, I will deal with that when the time comes. And I've seen an article that says that apparently you can... Oh, wow, we jumped to 5 people. Game pre-order! People flocking in. Like, that was a problem in Tears of the Kingdom too. At least Tears of the Kingdom offered you a, an ability to add favorites. So if you had some favorite builds, personally I did not care for the building. And it's possible that I will not care for the Echoes gameplay. I'm still interested. Like, it's going to be like a fun exploration game on the first playthrough, because if it works like all my other Switch, most of my other Switch games, I will have at least 3 playthroughs. 1 in English, 1 in French, 1 in Spanish. So the first playthrough is going to be an exploratory playthrough, and the other 2 are going to be, how can I make this as easy on myself as I can with what I have in my inventory? Because, like, it was the same thing, well, at least a similar thing happened in Link Between Worlds, because there was a rental system, and, like, after you got the 3 pendants, the Ravio, that's what I was confusing his name with Flavio, and Flavio is a completely different character. But Ravio would change the rental to include being able to buy the items. And like by that time I was like swimming in rupees. So of course in my first playthrough I died a couple times and I had to go and re-rent the items. By the second playthrough, I didn't die at all. So buying the items early in the game was like super easy. Here is a fun fact for those of you that played Link Between Worlds. My first playthrough, I played through the entire games without knowing what a Maiamai was. The Maiamais are a collectible race, because I can't say item because they are sentient. You're supposed to meet Mother Maiamai in a cave that you blow up with a bomb. But I had somehow constantly missed that cave in my playthrough. And I went next to that cave because it's like above Lake Hylia. And I went to Lake Hylia a lot of times. There's a lot of shit to do in Lake Hylia. But I had somehow always missed, like, going a little bit to the right to see the cave. And I learned about the Maiamais through my ex-boyfriend, my boyfriend at the time, who said, "You didn't pick up the Maiamais? Now, what's a Maiamai?" And he was like... So then I went back, and he showed me where the cave was, and I went inside the cave, and that unlocked the Maiamais, and then I had to go through the entire map all over again in the same playthrough to find them all. Like, I was borderline, like, I was almost at the final boss, okay? I just needed to go back in Lorule to go through the Lorule Castle. That's how far I was in the game by the time he told me about the Maiamais. So, of course, following what I was saying, Now, one of the first thing I do when I play Link Between Worlds is I go and get that frickin' Maya cave. For those who don't know, the Maya side quest lets you, once you have bought an item from Ravio, it lets you upgrade that item. And that's pretty neat. It doesn't feel like much for most of the items, but it's wonderful for like the sand rod, because with the regular sand rod you can get a column of sand to walk on or travel through when you're in 2D mode, but it's timed and it goes down after a while. So it's nice to have it at level 2 before you go into the sand dungeon, because you're going to need those columns to fight the boss. So of course, with them not timing out, it actually makes the battle a little less stressful. Of course, when you bring out a whole row of sand, the previous row that you brought out will collapse, so you gotta keep that in mind. But it's not that bad, because there's like pillars of stone in between the rows of sand that you build, so you can stand on that when you summon a new row. So sometimes when my friends say, "Oh, you're so smart, you're so clever," and I'm like, no, if only you knew. I will admit that at times I can be very clever. Smart, I wouldn't go that far. I am neurodivergent, to say the least. Like, sure, I sound smart when I talk about something I know about. But I came upon that information by being a complete goober. Like, literally, there's a way that I prepare a steak. And Mom was like, "This is delicious. Where did you learn this?" And I'm like, huh? Paper Mario Color Splash. So there's this boss fight in Paper Mario Color Splash. Like, it's a decent game, but I so don't care about the game. It was a download on my... I never bothered to get the physical game after the download got deleted off of my Wii U. And one of the bosses is a sentient steak. And the way to beat the boss, because I'll tell you how to beat the boss first so you understand how I learned to cook steak. In order to beat the boss, you have to use, if I'm not mistaken, at least a hammer to tenderize, like your regular hammers, to tenderize the steak. Like, when it's like this, it's too tough. When it's like this, it's too tenderized. Like, it has to be kind of like this. Now, that part I don't do. I don't tenderize my steaks. But then you have to use the salt and pepper card. I'm not kidding. Once again, you are fighting sentient steak. Then you have to use the grill card. and grill the steak, and then you have to finish it off with a splash of lemon by using the lemon card. So that's what I do with the steak. I put my usual seasoning on it, I cook it, I add a splash of lemon before I serve it, and it's delicious. Like, I have access, I have permission to go through my dad's cookbooks. And what do? I learned cooking tricks through a video game that's not even Cooking Mama. I am the type of person that will try to build something and then think of checking out the instructions. But I've been doing good lately about that. I have been better at looking for and at the instructions. So there's that. Like, yay, me, I'm learning! You guys are probably hearing Lily sing the Song of Her People. My Uncle Marcel is probably here. And I just heard his voice. I was right. You know, and somehow, through all that mess, I didn't hit the wall once. Only wipeable surfaces. I'm lucky in my bad luck, you know? Like, there's a bunch of stickers on that thing, and I don't feel like drawing them. I love being the boss. I make the rules and you do not. I do whatever I want. Yeah, 2:20. We're doing good on time, I think. I believe I'm out of tea, but that's okay. I also thought about filling my tumbler with water. Y'all are so quiet today. Oh my goodness me, what am I gonna do with you guys? I was able to take down one of my monthly bills today. It's finally done, it's finally paid off. That's going to make it a smidgen a little easier. It's nice to listen to you in the background while I work. Your comic looks awesome today. Thank you, Paul. I'm going to start thinking that people like the sound of my voice. It's gonna do terrible, terrible things for what little modesty I have. If I gotta have only one hype man in my life, might as well be myself, you know? I spend time with myself 24/7. I will be thinking highly of myself because nobody else will. It's not that I think you guys don't care. Is that because I was raised a fab, I was always told to quiet down, to be more feminine, more demure, modest, so much modesty. Fuck your modesty! I don't want people to think that I think that I'm better than them. But I want to think highly of myself. I want to think that I'm worth somebody's time, you know? Because if you think you're not worth shit, your standard's lower, and that is frickin' dangerous. It attracts predators. So yeah, even if I call myself an idiot all the time, it's really... Like, I have idiot moments. We all have idiot moments. I applied for an art show, as I told Shiro earlier. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to see pictures of that. Like, I saw the pictures of the art. Coco's going to show off. But I want to see pictures of the event with Coco in it. That's what I want to see. Because I'm nosy about my artistic friends. Because I'm nosy. I like to see when they do art. Like when I say I'm one-track mind. Anything that has to do with art. Anything. Every single little thing. Like my kid did some finger painting today. I demand pictures. Let's hope I get accepted. Well, you better get accepted. I'm Canadian. I will write a sternly worded letter. Like my specialty in school was the short form horror story. I can write scary shit when I want. My question is, when taking applications, and I understand that for any convention or shows or stuff like that, you want big names, but how do you expect to get big names if you will systematically shut down the small names? How do you think big names got there to begin with? Every big name was once a small name. And of course, there's probably some people that are wondering, why don't you do art activities where you live? It's because I can't trust the adults. Like, let's say I make a 1 hour activity for kids. Like, we don't really have a lot of teenagers here. Like, the ones we do have, we kind of import them from other smaller towns to fill up the high school. And I don't have a contact into the high school anymore because my good art teacher died. I'm saying that like I resent him for dying. In a way I do, because I really love the guy. Now that I think about it, another art teacher that I had connections with died too. So, Paul, if I were you, I'd go get some tests done just in case I'm poisonous to other art teachers. So, you know, just to be safe. Like, let's say I do a 1 hour thing and they just won't come and pick up their kids. Like, if I had a contact in the local high school, I would know if it would be something that would interest them. Because it's not like I can just walk in and just ask. I don't even know who I would need to contact for that. You know what I mean? And like, it's so frustrating. Like, let's say I do an activity with alcohol markers, but like the closest place to get like maybe alcohol markers, but definitely comic cardstock is a 6-hour drive from here, because the local shops that have art supplies like will focus on painting. You guys see, like, there's a lot working against me, basically. I live in a constant state of frustration. No, it looks like I'm filling it with piss. It's water. It's water. It's tap water, and if I can be perfectly honest for a minute, the tap water here is delicious. It's well water. And it's probably the reason why I've never broken a bone in my own body. Reminder that I have broken bones, but none of them belong to me. And we will leave it at that. It's not the town stupid water. Apparently my well water is doing great things for my mood. Because if something goes wrong with my McDonald's order, I don't try to throw it back at the guy at the counter. I would tend to just go up and just say something's up with my order. I'm not gonna... Oh, because sometimes, holy jeez, people... Like, stop yelling, is what I'm saying, you know? Do I have anything a little redder because it's brass? Nah, maybe a bit more dull. Oh, that's more like it. It's gonna look like wood, but it's brass, trust me. Looks like ketchup and mustard. Like when I had troubles with my previous computer, my first reflex was not to blame Best Buy for selling me a bullshit computer, because they did not. That computer was new when I got it and it worked well, and it's just that there's planned obsolescence, and that is not Best Buy's fault. When I did get mad, I had a good reason. But I didn't, like, come out right away with being angry. Like 9 times out of 10, I'll be the person thinking, like, calm the fuck down. But people, they don't want to calm the fuck down. They want to be angry and mad all the frickin' time. And to be frank, that's exhausting. Being nice does not hurt. I know, because when I have pain, it's not because of rage, it's because of bending over my desk like a shrimp for hours on end because I love drawing. And I keep forgetting to take breaks because once again, I am an idiot. Genius IQ my ass. Like, seriously. That number up here, that's just my guess from an online quiz that I took, like, decades ago. Somebody at the CSP offices has a file with my IQ in it. And they never told me. They never told my parents. I guess I do use it when I decide I want to learn something. We're almost done. I'm just gonna move this out of the way. Let's have one last look because it's really pretty. Because I'll be using it again later. Because I got more cards that I want to add some spatter to the background. That's gonna be so cool. Why did you clean your airbrush if you were going to use it again? Because I used the airbrush yesterday and I was not going to let acrylic paint dry up in the frickin' thing overnight. You want to break your airbrush? That's how you do it. Oh, thank you, Paul. Didn't think I'd see that, eh? I just happened to look up and there was the little heart. Aha. Family tree. Alright, I think we're good. I believe we are good. Yes, yes, yes. So you guys know what that means. If you're new here and you don't know what that means, you will learn. Oh yes, you will learn. Recurring people will notice that I have finally taken my head out of my ass and resized the music windows in the starter screen and the end screen. And of course, we're at the end of the live stream, so extra special caramel drizzle, chocolate sprinkled rainbow cover thanks to our supporters on Patreon and Ko-fi and everywhere else. Amber B, Paul K, Miss Sanovis, Sir E, Othered, Carl Bloke, Takashi Kanako, Badat Multiplayers, and Supreme Crimson Leader. Your continued support is immensely appreciated. Where is my calendar? Okay, yes indeed, the next weekend is going to be a full weekend of live streaming, which means next Saturday is going to be the Colors of the Month Challenge at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Next Sunday, of course, going to be the regular Bootleg Cookie live stream, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's my time, not your time. Maybe your time. I don't know you. I don't know your life. Hope you guys had fun watching me draw this. I love fun drawing it. I'll see you guys next weekend. I love you all. And bye-bye.